Oh, somebody.
As far as, well, so we have to find a way, that's all. But
Right.
yeah,
And Kristen did some research, and I have it in front of me. But schools in the area do charge.
So Norwich 80 charges $165 per sport.
Per sport.
Union Ridge 86, $25 per sport. That's new. They'll just start that next year. And River Grove 85.5 is $150 per sport, and they cap it at 3 sports. So if you participate in more than 3, you don't.
Okay.
But District 80 has cut their sports. They're only down to like 4 sports.
Sure. So District 80 is not doing cross country, pom-poms, or cheerleading, but they're doing the others.
Okay.
This that is laid out in board books.
So 2, 4, so that's 8 teams. Compared to what do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
So they're keeping eight. They're keeping 8 sports, but we break it down. That's not broken down with junior varsity.
I was just going to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
You
there's
can't,
2
you don't
teams
want, you
per
can't double
sport.
count
It's
varsity.
basketball,
It's girls
volleyball,
basketball.
softball,
Right.
soccer. That's what's left.
You can only do one or the other.
Right. I mean, that will be interesting. I'm sure they won't have the same kids playing on the same teams there. Because they have doubled the amount of junior high students now that they've split schools. So that might work out fine there, but here, I just think that we have to find a way to make it feasible and affordable for the kids here. And if it means maybe they don't all play the same sport, I don't know. I mean, I see the average team size, on some of it it's pretty large, on others it's very small.
Or we could come up with a flat fee. I mean, this is just the.
Right.
It's not coming.
It's a place to get started. I understand.
Right.
Right, but whatever we do as a board, we really have to try to save the sports. I mean,
I don't disagree.
we spent a lot of time building that gym so we could welcome other teams to our our gym to play instead of, they would laugh when they'd come play in our multi-purpose room when they play volleyball.
Well, I think that's what we're looking at here is just, but
Right.
but we do.
And I think we're all on the same page with that.
Right, but we do need to get some subsidy from it
Yeah, I was
because
just
we
gonna say.
just
Oh, without a
It's
doubt.
a good compromise.
We have
I
to
agree.
charge.
$20,000 to get us drinking fountain.
I mean, when you think of what people pay for travel sports, and they pay it without batting an eye. Granted, it's more intense and
Much more competitive, much
more
more
competitive
everything,
and
yeah.
all of that, but then you have the whole cost of the travel involved, which means the whole family's going. So, I mean, if we charge our kids here, I think parents would be receptive to it as long as it's manageable.
There's things we can do to raise funds here. Like you said, it's a jumping off point, and I appreciate the fact that we're looking at this as an alternative. Me as a parent, obviously, nothing's free. If my kids wanted to get into something, anything after school, anything extracurricular that isn't through the school, so if your kid's in gymnastics, if your kid's in soccer at the park, things all cost hundreds of dollars anyway. I mean, just because you get in through the school shouldn't be. It's free. I mean, there's concessions that need to be made on both sides.
But if our kids don't play in elementary, they'll never
play
in high school.
No.
Never.
No.
And that's sad because they become part of something.
Well, so here's the
Now
thing.
you have young kids. Your kids haven't experienced sports yet here, correct?
No, still good.
Okay, but I think of yours.
My little one plays soccer. She's not old enough to get in here yet, but she loves it.
Okay.
Oh yeah, so she'll stay with it.
But the thing is, the board. I think the budget needs the whole 48.
Well,
I mean, that's realistic. If we're gonna, I'm just throwing information out there. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that information that I've received up until now is there's not that many places that we can cut. in order to have the revenues to fix the
Right.
building.
Those funds need to be
You know?
allocated. You're right, I agree. I know.
Okay, here's my thoughts on that. Okay, yeah, I'd like to cover the whole 48,000. It's going to cost somebody $700-800 a year. I'd rather try to get half of that and see more kids participate, because if you do that,
In other words,
you're not going to have sports anyway.
grow the program, grow the programming.
Okay, so if we
Yeah.
can, if we can fix, if we don't save $20,000 to fix one thing 1 year, we need so much money, it's not going to make a big difference. Okay, that's the point. The point is saving that $20,000 and seeing these kids suffer or not have sports. To me, it's not worth it.
No, it isn't.
Not
Not
worth
a little bit.
It's not worth it. You know,
I mean, yes, it is sports, but
we can eliminate sports altogether and see these kids not have that opportunity. Some never even play these sports, and we've saved $48,000. Or we can try to get half of that. See some kids still participate, and maybe they won't. Maybe they don't want to spend money on that. We don't know. We don't know.
Right. Can we go looking for corporate sponsors?
And do a raffle to raise money.
Well, I think this is the problem. I think that it's either in the budget or it's out of the budget. What we do after that
Right.
is a conversation piece, but I don't think the district can throw it in and throw it out, and throw it in and throw it
Right.
out.
So
you know?
that's an interesting question, Sheila. I did have a couple parents approach me about starting an athletic boosters club. And I think the premise behind that would be raising funds to help offset the fees that the board decides to go that way.
I mean, we did it, I comparing apples to oranges here, but we did it at Maine South for football, baseball, everything.
Every travel program does it. Everyone
Everything,
does
everything.
Everyone
and-
does it.
raffle.
Yeah, but they all have a fee already included.
Right.
You charge a fee,
A
and
fee
then,
plus, sure.
then you have a way of offsetting your
Right, trying to
fees by
reduce
some
that.
kind of fundraiser.
So we come up with a fee that we need to charge, and if we're able to get X amount of dollars, you can reduce that fee.
Right, well, that would be up to a parent organization, a
Correct.
Right.
booster organization, to take that on.
Really might be something to look into.
I think that it grows
Well,
engagement.
no, there's no doubt, there's no doubt
right?
we can do that, but you still have to come up with a fee. You have to say, okay, we're gonna, sports is gonna cost X per sport or X for all sports. That has to be built in the budget.
Right.
If we're able to go out and get money from elsewhere to help subsidize that, then you can change those fees. You can reduce that. But you can't, you don't know that until it happens.
Yes, right. You're working on the if come, right?
Right.
Okay. And then the other thing is, and I'm just putting myself in Dr. Kopta's shoes here. She's either got $48,000 to spend on the building, or she doesn't.
It's black and white.
You know, and I think
48 or some subset.
Right. But it's got to be a real number.
A finite
It can't be
number
a
that she
maybe.
can work with. You're right. Exactly right.
So that's why you have to have a fee, and the fee's gonna cover 50% of it or whatever, and then anything you get out of that is gravy. Think about it.
So what?
This is something we could decide in next month's meeting.
It is a fee, you could set that fee at next month's meeting.
We don't have to set it tonight.
Can we,
You all got the numbers now, so
Yep.
formulate something in which you think would be.
Are we voting on anything tonight in regard to this?
Well, we have to vote on the elimination, is what our original motion was, so we'll have to vote on that.
Which doesn't necessarily mean canceling sports, but it means taking them out of our budget, taking them out of the budget.
well, not completely.
No, I mean that could
No.
it could mean that.
I mean, the stipends come out of our budget.
Right, you can
Take it completely out.
vote no,
To eliminate sports.
so we're gonna keep sports, and then at the next meeting, we can vote, the board can put a motion on to set a fee for sports.
And then it's May, and then Julie do the final budget.
I was gonna say, when is your final budget?
So the final, so this year's budget cycle will be, we'll present the tentative budget to the board in June, since there will not be a July board meeting. And then, the first draft will be August, it'll go on display in August, and then vote in September, so we still have.
A little bit of time.
Now, would we incorporate the fee into the school fees, or would we keep
No,
that separate?
it would have to be
Probably be
separate
better
for,
separate.
for students who decide to participate.
If you
And then
want
if
to
we don't have
participate, you
enough,
pay, right.
we would have to forfeit that.
I mean, we'd have to look at all different variations.
And
The reality is
You
that's
may run into a hardship or
to
something's
your
gotta
point,
be-
Phil. The reality is, if you got 50 people playing, we're subsidizing 50 people at 48,000. So I mean, that's a big expense for 50 kids. So,
Yeah, that's the,
I mean,
which
we-
is
we
part of
need
the,
to-
the
yeah.
issue here, yeah. Which we think it's important, but it's important at a cost, right?
Right.
What about, if we go down this road, we say we're going to keep sports, theoretically, we're going to charge a fee, and we vote on that. And then we build, let's just say it's 50% for conversation. We build a 50% indoor budget, and then a booster club is started, and funds are raised. What can happen with those funds, and can we then allocate money from the budget into the building? I'm just asking.
We push it back into the.
Well, the money they would raise would be to offset their fees,
Right.
not to add to our budget. So if I'm the parent, I'm paying $150, then I
Right,
can go
so-
raise $150.
So, but if that were to happen, and based on I think what you just said, what I think I understand it is, it's going to offset the student fees, but it's not going to put money back into the building budget.
No, right.
No,
So that doesn't. That the only jives.
Well, no, in essence it does. In essence it does. No, not really.
No, it doesn't.
No.
no, but you
Only
may encourage
if the
more
fees-
people- you may encourage
only if
more
the
people
fees
to
are high
participate.
enough.
Right.
Like so in other words, the way it would, Mike, the way it would is if the fees were 100%, is the only way it would help the budget. And that's in that particular scenario.
Yeah, no, anything that
Helps
they,
not get rid of sports.
the booster club.
They raise money to at least will keep sports.
Right, but right now, but they only do that. I mean, so just for conversation piece, they only do that if sports are cut out. If the district says we cannot sponsor sports anymore, then an alternative has to be found. If the district says we're going to sponsor them up to a point, or there's some kind of caveat there, I don't know what happens after that. I'm just saying that I don't know. I think
Well, I think you still raise funds, even though the school's sponsoring half of it.
Yeah, you would have to. Yeah, I mean, theoretically, you have to, but I'm going to go back to the point just for conversation, because going back to the facilities meeting and what we're talking about with budgets and where we're talking about, we're making certain plans, but those plans are based on a financial arrangement. And I think we really got to get to where we're going to be. Otherwise, we can't plan effectively. And there didn't seem to be a lot of places to pull money from. I mean,
No, there's not.
I'm not the only one that was there, so there's not a lot of other places to pull money from. The bus and the sports are two of the very few places we can pull money from.
But still, 48 grand, what's it get you 2 out of fouls? I mean, in the scheme of things, I understand what you're saying completely.
Well, that's
but
my point.
It's barely a dent.
Yeah, it's not like we're gonna eliminate sports and we're gonna be able to replace the AC.
Not even close.
No, it's
in the day-to-day. It really comes down to not 48,000 for water funds. It comes down to 1% of the budget. Are we able to start working on the building with?
no. What it comes down to is how much money you're gonna be able to surplus to be able to
Allocate toward the facility project.
And for me, I would rather see kids play sports than figure a way for 48,000. It's not gonna fix our problems.
And I completely agree.
100%
Not gonna
agree.
fix our problems.
I've been on this board for many,
10
many
million
years.
wouldn't fix our problems.
I've been on this board for many years, and taking something like this away from these kids, especially because my kid was such he was an athlete, lived for his sports from the minute he could play them, went on, played baseball through college on a scholarship. I would feel that I was doing a total injustice to the children here.
Disservice.
And I just would not, I don't know that I would feel comfortable going on.
Well, like I said, I mean, we have to vote on the elimination motions. It'll come in action. That's why you're on the board. Nobody votes the way they want to vote.
That's right.
And then if it is voted to not eliminate sports, then next month we'll have to, I hope you guys can all come back with ideas. You have the numbers. Come up with ideas of how you think it should be laid out.